Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric and I am joined today by a very special guest, Bruce from Golden Eagle Cards. How's it going, Bruce?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm finally recovered from SorceryCon. Finally recovered.
Man, it almost feels like it was months ago, but it was just a couple weeks ago.
It was like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm on my end. I'm still reviewing and editing a lot of the footage, but wanting to look at the constructed matches from the event. And you and I got to play in round 2. So
Yeah.
thanks for jumping on and co-casting with me here.
Yeah, no, it was a a bit of a grindy game for sure.
Yeah, I remember this one. I guess this isn't a spoiler for the match, but we do go to turns in this one, and there was a few judge calls that I guess we'll kind of get to reflect on as we see them happen in real time, because I forget everything that happened, but I do remember kind of the main issue with a couple of the cards.
Yeah, remembering Garden of Eden is proven to be a bit
Yeah,
of a
I
challenge.
guess we could even just talk about that now. I know the judges said that I think the biggest problem that players were running into was the combination of Garden of Eden with any of the Umphaluses, which allow you to draw an extra card at the end of your turn. The Garden of Eden counts that as you drawing a second spell, which prevents it. And you'll see in this match where we
Yep.
don't catch that until too late.
Yeah. I don't know, man. How did SorceryCon go for you? I had a blast.
Oh man, I had so much fun. I mean, obviously, I was filming in addition to getting cards signed and playing. But I'm looking at the camera here.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Bruce showing off his iconic banana altars, which I had seen them floating around on the Discord, but I did not know that that was you. So when you showed me these, that was awesome to realize.
Yeah, I think I got everybody except Sam McKinnon to draw a banana on one of their cards.
Where would it have been on the pond? I guess for Sam,
Yeah, I guess that would be a good one.
just floating in the banana peel somewhere or something.
Yeah.
That's funny. How did you enjoy it?
No, it was a blast. Round 1, I got to work on my tournament nerves. I said it to other people, but man, just shaking and like getting all excited. But no, I had a blast. My 2 games after this round, I think my third and fourth round of the day, I was turn 3 Plague of Frogs, turn 4 into Interrogator, and I felt bad.
No, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you should feel good, but I guess feeling bad for the opponent because that's pretty brutal. But
Yeah.
oh man, going into this match, I know that for myself, my first round was against one of your locals, Joey G, who was
Yep,
playing
he's good.
Yeah, he's very good, and I got to cast one of his matches last year in Vegas, and then got to play him here. Round 1, he beat me pretty outright against his Archimago. So Archimago and Imposter are, for if you're kind of a casually competitive player like myself, where I don't have maybe as many reps as other people, these 2 matchups are the most terrifying because I really just don't know what to expect. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how I had some nerves going into this game too, but I kind of had already just like, well, I'll probably lose this, but let's do our best, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's what I learned about playing at this event was I'm there to do my best, but like I said in my deck tech, if I wanted to do the absolute most competitive thing, I would have taken Necro Air Water. But I was like, I'm going to go for what I want to play and what I want to have fun with. So
I recall I was listening to a video that you and CJ made where you were just kind of, this is about a month ago, we were talking about like the state of the meta. And at that time, you had made a comment that the Imposter hurt your brain. Did you still feel that way, aside from your tournament nerves coming into SorceryCon?
yes, it's still like the thing about Imposter is it feels so good to play because there's so many decision trees to do, and so when you go back and look at all your decisions, you can kind of say, oh, if I did this, I could have done something else, and like it keeps your mind thinking about it. Yeah, it still melts my brain. It's not as bad as like Enchantress. And I still can't play Enchantress very well just because all the rules interactions and big units and whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm getting better at it.
I know Enchantress, the aura animation can cause some weird rulings with like the way they move since they're on 4 sites. So I won't ask for examples, but I imagine there's a lot of kind of like one-off cases with that.
It's like tracking when things are minions and when are not minions, and
Right,
it's just a lot of things to keep track of. Like the play lines are probably pretty standard, but like just knowing the board state and making the correct decision at each time during the board state is hard, and it's a lot of mental tax. So like, and the other thing about playing in these paper events, you're playing for 8 hours usually. And so choosing a deck that like the back of your, and you know all the play lines, you have like a muscle memory to it, really helps your mental tax and mental load throughout the day.
Yeah, definitely. And I that's something where some pro players do this, but I know I certainly don't, is I try not to make any last minute changes the night before, because like you said, I want to go into it with a deck that I know what my options are. And it's funny you mentioned the Enchantress, because I believe it's in your collection here. So not only do you have the Imposter decision tree, you also have, oh boy, and we'll see at the end of this match where some of that comes into play, where my brain absolutely melted.
Yeah, I won't spoil it, but the end of the match I think is my favorite. Like,
I've been pretty excited to cast this.
Yeah.
So start out pretty standard. It looks like you just have an active volcano, an oasis. I have only made a skeleton thus far.
Yeah, I'm Steam Imposter, and so a lot of Steam decks, even back in 50-30, were so threshold hungry. A lot of 2s and 3s in each color, and the double threshold stuff has been really, really awesome to have.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing has been the case for Pathfinder decks, where that was a big struggle, and now it's a lot easier to meet your thresholds. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, thresholds are still a little sketchy, but I've been seeing a lot of mono color stuff. Not even outside of Pathfinder. Like Pathfinder is like monocolored whatever, but like Archimago and Necromancer, like monocolored water is like, the monocolor stuff is getting better and better, just because the consistency and sights are so strong and each effect is so good. It's like what you really want to keep around.
I'm kind of reflecting on my film skills here. It looks like I have a much better view of my hand, but not as good as yours. So like you might be able to recognize your cards better than I know you're looking at your collection here in this shot, but just room for improvement for myself for the next event.
Yeah, so this turn, my turn when I play Babbling Brook, I feel pretty safe to like use my first Imposter Mask, because you're kind of like, everything's locked down for a turn and I can kind of like breathe for a second. So I like to turn it into Savior or Pathfinder as early as possible, and Babbling Brook helps me protect that mask, and so it's felt really good. Turn 3, Babbling Brook turned into a mask.
One thing I hadn't considered, now that I'm like reflecting on this match at like where my head was at, because I didn't practice a lot at the event since I was filming.
Yeah.
I forgot that the like hitting your imposter is what removes the mask. So like just looking at my hand here, I think I have Riptide, for example. Like, well, except for that my skeleton is disabled. That's a good point. Do I have a Polar Explorers? Like,
yeah, you have
like
a Polar Explorers.
Yeah, that would have, now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have played the Polar Explorers and swung into your Savior. Like, I play the Polar Explorers, and I'm pretty sure I don't swing here, because I did not consider, you know, like, why would I just swing and deal 1 damage? It was in my head.
And so even Babbling Brook like protects that, because if you come around and swing, you become disabled before you finish your attack. So I'm still protected in that sense, but yeah.
Well, see, I'm learning even. Wow, I didn't even consider that. That's great.
I don't even remember you playing Plague Frogs, but I don't remember how I got rid of them. So
yeah, I think this, and sorry for the viewers or the listeners, I think this goes for a minute, because it's 7 frogs, it's deciding where to put them, and then on top to boot we have a Maelstrom right in the middle, so I'm sure that will get clunky moving all of our tokens around.
It'll be great.
Yeah, this is like, and I don't know, maybe you have. I generally just end up, like, if I don't really have a plan with what I'm doing with them, I'm not using like a manuscript, I kind of am just casting it because I have the mana. It's like, I kind of just place 2 here, 2 there, couple here, couple underwater, like, it just has potential chump blockers in the future, but there's not a lot of thought from my end, so let me know if there's something I should be doing different, but I assume most people kind of do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have a payoff for them, and it's like, yeah, you put 7 tokens on the field, but I mean, what are you doing with them? So putting them up as chump blockers, it makes a lot of sense. I will say the old ruling for Plague Frogs used to be you have to summon them all in the same location, or same location. So all 7 had to go to one spot. So it like made the decision tree a little bit faster, and I think they updated it like beginning of last year to where you can spread them out. Because what was happening was because deserts were really popular, people were playing the Plague of Frogs all 7 in one on top site, and desert all 7 frogs are gone. It's like, ugh, that feels pretty bad.
They take the time digging for 7 tokens, and they finally get it. Just ping them all to death. Oh,
yeah, it was a bit of a fields bad.
All right, so you've got a Koinixia of your own submerged, kind of right in the middle here, which is a prime spot. It's not as exciting of a site to put it under, but still, and you're able to ward it as it comes in.
Yeah, and I think I totally forgot about the Polar Explorers coming around and smacking my mask too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think I was considering doing that, so I think you were safe just for my ignorance here, but yes. That's something I probably should have done, is just swung a skeleton into... I think like when I eventually hit you, you're like, oh, and my mask falls off, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So.
We're learning as we go.
Exactly.
How did your deck, the air water, feel throughout the weekend on Constructed?
It felt good. I mean, considering I didn't get barely any, this was basically the only, I didn't get any practice essentially going into it, but it felt great. I know that the Water Necro is one of the easier decks to pilot. It's really just playing a bunch of big creatures, and then, you have swap and some other tools and stuff like that. But I'm playing a little bit less air than I think CJ's deck ended up playing, his dank magic variant of that took first place. I'm mostly just running a splash of air in the form of, lighthouses and towers, just to have access to things like Zap and Murder of Crows and some other cards in my collection. But it felt great to play. Like, I mean, really, it was, a lot of the games were pretty tooth and nail. I won't reveal my record in this match in case people end up wanting to watch all of my rounds, but I will say that I went to day 2, so
nice.
it went pretty good. So, well, I guess that spoils it a little bit, because I did lose my first match, and then, well, I'll stop talking, but... it looks like Symmetric Suffering here.
So the fun thing about this is Symmetric Suffering gets around Ward, which is like really rough, because Sacrifice is above like Destroy or Kill, which Ward protects, but Ward does not protect against Sacrifice.
And it looks like I'm just deciding if I want to get rid of a Froggy or a Skeleton. Sometimes that 1 power can matter, but it looks like I just opt to get rid of the Skeleton. I can make one whenever I want, so just opt to do that. How about you? How about yourself? I'll ask you the reverse question. Like, how did your deck feel?
I ended up going 5-3 overall. The final game I lost, my final third game, my final third, my third loss was the final game, and I feel like I could have done some stuff a little bit differently and could have snuck out that win, but it was good. I lost to a Mesmerism, which was like fine, I guess. It's just gonna happen.
That's sorcery, baby. Yep.
Yeah, that's sorcery. I do remember in this game, your Garden Eden came down. I had 2 gifts of the serpent, like the ones that give him lethal, so I could never really like cycle them for free. And what I learned in this game is if you draw a sight for turn, you can then cast a cantrip or something and then draw a spell, because Garden of Eden only cares about spells, which I didn't know, which was a good thing to learn for sure.
Oh, so at the time of this match, you were thinking you can't even do that.
I couldn't do
draw
anything.
Sight, and then got it.
Yeah. So that was a little rough, but yeah. So many skeletons frogs to like delay everything. I think it was a great strategy. Like, I can't do much right now. It's just like.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of games where this, like the turn 3 Plague of Frogs ends up winning me the game, just because they never really have a Murder of Crows or an answer for it, and I end up just being able to block so many times, or survive for that one more turn that I've had it happen. I've had it be beneficial more often than not. So the Dank of Balls comes out.
Yeah, here's our big misplay of the
Keep an eye on which cards I draw for turn, because Garden of Eden, assuming I drew I actually didn't quite see if I drew a spell that turn or not, but assuming I did, I'm not allowed to.
I think you drew the Thin Ice for turn.
Okay.
Oh, here's
In that case.
I had whatever this Fields, yeah.
Fields of Camlin, yeah.
Fields of Camlin. So this is how I cleared out most of the frogs. That's right.
And it's everything but one, and since you only have a cat, then that survives. And then in my case, it's all those frogs, all the skeletons, and even my Polar Explorers gets wiped. So that's where like the frogs don't feel as good. Like you didn't have to do anything, just play a site. And it wiped
well,
them out,
I think the frogs. The problem here is the Fields of Camelin. Like, it's kind of nuts to say I play this site and you lose 7 pieces of cardboard.
Yeah,
like that just seems a little mean.
I love the Frank Frazetta Ruler of Thule, by the way. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I backed it. I backed the Kickstarter, and I was like, I'm getting a full set of alpha, and like that was my collection goal.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually I sold a bunch of cards and some foils and things like that, and I'm getting my first alpha pre-con box in a couple weeks.
Oh dang!
So I'm very excited for that.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it wasn't the cheapest, but we have a long time until the next set comes out, so it gives me some time to save up for a case.
And side note, I feel like that's why one set a year feels so good. It's because it gives you time to collect stuff and doesn't like. I would never collect as much stuff if I did. I would if it came out every 3 months. I would never have the time or the resources to go collect, I don't know, some foils of something or random odds and ends, but it just feels
100%
good.
agree. It feels great, and I say this a lot, but it's like, although like Gothic just came out and we're probably like entering that lull period that everyone talks about in Sorcery, I'm fairly new. I've been playing for a little less than a year, so this is my first full year of waiting for, a new set to come out after Gothic, but it's already been 3 months. I mean, we're 25% of the way there. I mean, it's not that far away. It is,
so,
but
yeah. So like, it's feeling a little bit better after AL. Like 5th month in, it was getting a little like just because the card pool was so small with AL. It didn't add a whole lot of new stuff or new strategies. It was like the good cards with the good cards. Back in my day, note here, when we were all still learning this game and alpha and beta was still out, there was this like monthly evolution of the meta where one person would like develop something, and then Kyle came along and showed everybody Fury Road, which is like air earth or fire earth sorcerer, and just like gotta go fast. And so then everybody had to like adapt to that, and so there was this like monthly or 2-month churn of like popular decks, and it was a very interesting time to be a part of Sorcery. And so there was never really a lull.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. And yes, I mean, there might be a lull for some players depending on what they're into or if they just collect. But like yourself, if you're playing competitively, you're right. There probably never really is, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's, well, I guess we'll see. The year is still starting. But like in that circumstance, if it's evolving organically that much just within one set, that's something pretty special, I think. That's really cool.
I think it was also like the player base kind of sucked at the game, so we were all kind of collectively still learning. I think we've got another 3 to 4 months of Gothic before like things really settle out. Like air water right now is like the best thing, and so people are trying to like pound their head against it and figure out what's good against it. So that'll be fun for a little while. Yeah, and then over on the summit we'll be doing like 40-20 events and maybe.
Oh, cool! Yeah, that's exciting.
So we'll do like some other stuff later in the year.
Yeah, 40-20 with like Gothic would be interesting if you were to run something like Magician or something like that. I don't know. I could see that being really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'd be fun for a month to like just do something different for a little bit of freshness. So we'll do something to keep it alive. But yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah. One unfortunate thing about filming at conventions is it's I have little control over the light.
Oh, so yeah, the glare, it's pretty rough.
We're kind of getting hit with the, there's no dark mode on these sleeves here, so it's pretty bright. I know they do sell, like, anti-glare Dragon Shield sleeves, which I might play around with, but even then, that would just be my side of the field, so Sorry
Yeah,
that
when
it's a little bright here.
Yeah, so you played the Babbling Brook, and disabling stuff removes ward because ward's treated like a keyword. And I remember, I think you play a Koi Nixie this turn, and I suggested, or since my cat is disabled and Koi Nixie is a forced movement, Koi Nixie cannot make immobile things take a step, or that's a crazy alter.
Yeah, I'm showing him my old Greg alt art, which is it's a YouTube comedy sketch from the UK, and I purchased that. So it's kind of a wild card. But sorry, go ahead and finish your thoughts. So you were about the force
Koi
movement
Nixie
and
cannot force things that cannot take their own step to take a step. So the cat would not be able to take a step over. But
yeah, so it loses the ward. Oh, so I forced
because it's
that
disabled. Yeah.
Okay, so this was a misplay.
Yeah, and these things happen at conventions, and like it. I don't know. It's just kind of like what sorcery is. There's always going to be. Like, hold on, was that right? I don't remember.
Well, this is the first of a few here for us here, so we're getting close to where Mitch, aka Frogamago, sitting over our shoulder, points out the fact that Garden of Eden prevents the dank from drawing cards. So you can see I draw a spell this turn. At the end of so there's that second card, right?
Yeah.
At the end of this turn, the dank is not allowed to draw a card, but I'll just say I think we allow it to up to like the fourth card until it gets called out. So pretty wild judge call. We'll talk to it in just a sec. So just a little heads up. But yeah, to that note, like even Babbling Brook, even when I cast it, I didn't realize that it breaks ward because, like you said, it disables how is it worded? Like all non-basic abilities, which showing the hand here.
Yeah. So I have double cantrip, and I can't in my head I can't do anything. But ward is treated like a keyword on the minions, and so disabling removes all text box.
Makes sense.
So it removes ward.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's like a token. Like you see it as this like add-on, like a shield, but it's not. It's adding a keyword to the. You almost want to slide that token inside of the sleeve itself, and it's like that's part of its keywording now. And if you disable it, it gets rid of ward. So that's something I did not know until I played this against you here.
Yep. Yeah, and so you have this Koi Nixie Thin Ice. I don't have any minions. I'm not drawing into any minions, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, and like you said, your only cantrips are wanting you to draw more spells, but since you were thinking maybe I can't use that, like I couldn't draw a sight and then draw a spell. They probably just feel like duds.
I will say I've been playing this game before beta came out, and like a couple months before alpha Kickstarter stuff was fulfilled, and so I mean I've been playing it for 3 years, and 3+ years, and man, I still don't know all the rules, and I'm still learning every day. So it's a pretty deep game in the sense of like there's a lot of complicated rules interactions that you have to be aware of, and it's like that's the next like level up point for a lot of players is like a better understanding of rules. Once you start playing the game and like attacking, defending, you kind of get a feel for the tempo. And the next step is like really digging into the rules.
Yeah, I'd love to take I know they just came out with kind of like the judge program where you can take a test to see, depending on what level. Like I'd love to do even just like whatever the easiest one is just to test my own knowledge of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good, like, not a comprehensive rules thing, but like a good, if you get all these questions right, you kind of know what interactions to look out for.
Right. Yeah, and it was funny after having played this match, and I was listening to Lord of Itza on his channel as a judge talking about what was the most problematic thing, and it was literally what you and I ran into, the Garden of Eden and the Umphalos, which was really funny. So we weren't alone.
Yeah, it looks like you got 2 artifacts in your Umflow. So, like, yeah, you might have been drawing cards with it, but I don't think it really made that much of a difference.
Right. The hard thing is that when we had to, like, you'll see in a moment, but once we realize it, we kind of, ask a judge how we want to roll it back, and it's like, well, 2 of these I literally can't cast, so which are we allowing? Yeah, we'll see in a moment, but, obviously I'd like to be able to cast that Green Knight if I could, but...
And the other, I guess if you cast... Oh, did we do this right? If Green Knight has, what is Green Knight's power? Is it 4?
I think it's 3. Wait a
Three,
minute. I'm gonna
3
pull
and
it up.
7 divided by 2. Oh, it has a 5 power.
So it would drown. Okay.
Yeah, it would drown on thin ice. Did we play that
So you
wrong? I don't remember
Boss?
that coming.
I'm not sure because you're right. So is that how so it's 7 and 3. Yeah, divided by 2 would be 5. I didn't realize you add the 2 and then divide it. I think it's only in Arthurian Legends where they have the varying attack power and defense power or whatever
Yeah.
however they word it.
I wonder if they're gonna do more of that in the future. Like, I know they did it for the Knights as like their like signature thing.
How do you like it? I don't love it, but I could see it happening again. Like, why not? I'm not.
I don't love the rules around it. Like, Brother Knight is a 3/2, so its power is 2.5 rounded down.
Oh, trying to down. So it's a power 2. So it can go.
It can go in.
Oh,
Gnome
that's
Halls.
interesting. So it can go into Gnome Halls. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh.
It used to be when AL first came out, it was 2.5.
So not even.
And so
You'd think they'd round up. That's really interesting. I'm curious.
There's been feedback like that. I'm just glad that it's a whole number now. I'm just like just like tracking a half a point of power was just weird.
I'd rather it be one or the other. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it. Oh, I'm trying to remember what happened in the rest. Like this portion of the game was just we both had very awkward hands and like
Yes.
I guess we just pass.
Pretty much. And I think we kind of joke because you have a lot of creatures or a lot of minions rather in your deck, but you're not drawing them. You've got some cantrips, but I have a lot of interaction spells that I can't cast either. So there's Lilith off the top for the Umphalos and
I think
coming
this
in
is
just a
where
moment. Yeah.
this is where we're about to do some rollbacks or whatever. But shout out to John, the head judge of the event, and he's one of the few level 3 judges. And man, every interaction I have with him is professional, and the rulings seem fair. And I don't know, just shout out to John.
Yeah, he was great.
The whole judge team was like running around with their heads cut off, but you know.
Oh, they were earning their spots for sure.
So here's
Fey
a
Changeling gets around
Fey Changeling
award,
gets
which
around
is
ward
interesting.
because it says minion here. It doesn't say target, and that's Fey Changeling has felt really strong in the warded meta.
Yeah, I've seen it being played a lot more. So I'll probably end up sprinkling it back into my deck to some degree, or if sometimes I just like to play Wave Shaper still. I know it's not the strongest, but now that water is so strong, it's like still pretty fun sometimes.
Yeah, no, I have Wave Shaper in the collection of Imposter
Oh, cool.
for that exact reason. So like, if I'm on the play and I kind of have like a turn 3, turn 4 like minion kind of pushing some pressure, and somebody plays like a chump blocker or some kind of thing to slow Wave Shaper, turn into Wave Shaper, tap it down, I get to get in and do the tempo thing. So it doesn't come up all the time, but when it does come up, it seems it's very, very useful.
It's a really good point about Wave Shaper because its ability is something you don't want to be doing all the time because tapping down to tap something else down prevents you from playing your sites. But like for a few uses, like you usually only want to be able to do that maybe, I don't know, 3 times in a match. Let's just say like as a Wave Shaper, you don't want to be doing it the whole time. So like Imposter's kind of perfect for that because you'll probably lose that ability with the mask getting knocked off anyways. That and I guess on that thought as well is something like Interrogator. I don't know. That's another avatar that I like was really, really excited about when Gothic came out, and I was trying to make some decks for it, but that's not really my strength. And then I haven't seen it do very well, so I kind of haven't played it. But it's probably fine to have in your collection, like you said, if you have Plague of Frogs or something, and then you just transform into Interrogator, and then you can get that effect at least just once in the whole game. It might be worth running.
I think I hear a little bit of imposter interest. Like, like now you're seeing these gears start to turn of like, oh, I can just use these effects for once and it's great. And yeah.
All right, here it is. Bruce, I'm pretty sure this is the turn when we pass the Lilith, right when we're about to see what card gets revealed off the top of your deck. It looks like I'm doing a bit of Riptide here first, so I cast her to where she needs to be. and then I'm pulling her back, I think just to get her away from the thin ice.
Yeah, because if you like flipped something off of Lilith
Right.
with it on thin ice, everything would get submerged, and like, what's the point?
Yes. So it looks like I'm moving Koinix out of the way. I'm pulling Lilith actually over to the Maelstrom. And that's probably, I just because I'm talking over it, I didn't quite hear, but that's probably what we were discussing in this moment here. Like, if I summon something here, will they drown? And I think it was a yes. So, but I can't draw a spell.
I see me. Yeah, here we go. I think Mitch has just told us. It's like, hey.
I shout outs to Mitch, poor guy. We were kind of teasing him. We're like, gosh dang it, Mitch, why'd you even say anything? Like, you ruined our game.
Glad he did. I'm really glad he did, because now we're both like, that's the thing. Like, I learn by like running into these situations, and I run into, like, in the future when I see Garden meeting out, I'm like, now I'm going to remember this and say, oh yeah, that's right. I can't do more than whatever it says, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool if, like, Umphalos and Morgana and these other draw effects got around Guardian of Eden, just because it's, like,
I agree.
Some cool play around potential.
It just is weird that the rules count drawing for an Umphalos as me drawing. That just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, you're the one manipulating the card off the deck, right? Like, that's how I think about it. I don't know.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. When it says you, it's like, well, it's my deck. I'm the one moving it. Yeah.
Judge. It could go either way. It could really go either way. I personally would like to see Umphalos and some other thing. Like, yeah, shutting down cantrips kind of makes sense, but I don't know. It's a unique versus a unique. It should be some. Right. Yeah. But who knows?
So we're just gonna kind of let the footage roll. This is the moment I just heard myself in the video here call the judge. So this is where the head judge is. We're explaining what's happening here, so we can kind of just talk over that. But on your thought of me getting interested in Imposter, I think I am. Because again, I'm kind of just having this thought in real time here while we're recording. But it's that a lot of those avatars, like the Wave Shaper and the Interrogator, and I guess the other obvious example that Imposter usually runs is something like Flame Caller. These are all effects you only want to do once, maybe twice in the whole game, generally.
Yep.
It's perfect for that. Use it once, get it off, then they do damage and it falls off. Great. I'll move on to the next one.
Yep. No, and the only awkward thing with Imposter is it costs 3 to move into a mask, and so you really gotta time your changes correctly, so you don't fall too far behind on tempo. So, like, on turn 4, turning into a Pathfinder and then playing a site and not playing a card feels... It's not like what you want to be doing. You want to be doing stuff early in the game, and then Imposter, to me, has been feeling like a bit of a late game avatar, like late game value, where you can turn into whatever you want whenever you want. But yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun to play because there's so many different play lines, and you're like, oh, I could do this, and I could do that, and then what if I did this, and new sets, new Imposter bait, new collection stuff, so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Imposter will be one where whenever a new set comes out, it only gets better. It's going to completely change what it can do. And this one's more of a meme, so I don't say this seriously, but even cards like Duplicator, right? I know that's one's kind of a joke, but in 5 years from now, it's going to have a lot of cards.
Yeah. In 5 years, it's going to have a lot of cards. That's a good
point. It'll still be very expensive, but there are just some avatars, and even like Pathfinder, right? Like, it's gotten a lot better since Gothic came out, because now its threshold is just not a problem. I've been enjoying playing that some mono fire aggro Pathfinder just to kind of break out of my water muscle memory, getting out of my comfort zone, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really, really different and really fun.
Yeah, Pathfinder used to be like 40-20. Pathfinder was like, it was almost so good because for like 20 sites made your threshold very consistent. Yeah. And you could get away with 2-color Pathfinder, or you could play like 15 one color and then 5 support sites. But the issue is, like, you'll still go colorless sight, fire, and then you need double fire to cast the Dragonets or something. And
right.
So it was, yeah.
Yeah, the double threshold sites have been, like you said, literally a game changer for sure.
So, random side question while we're still sorting out the rules here. How did you find out about Sorcery? I think you've talked about it, but I don't remember.
Sure. Yeah, so I like many other players, I'm coming from Magic. I was playing competitive Standard for a year leading up to me finding Sorcery, and it's kind of strange, but I had actually bought the beta precons like a couple of, I want to say a couple years ago, probably like I think the Kickstarter had already completed, right? And it was like now beta time. I don't know. I don't think Arthurian Legends was out at the time, but I was bored at an old job. I was working retail and I had a computer so I could just kind of browse the web when there was nothing to do. And I saw it on Reddit, I think. And this is kind of embarrassing to say, but coming from Magic, when you hear the words like alpha and beta, you think like really rare and expensive cards. So I thought like, oh, this new game's coming out. For $50, I'll buy the precons for this new game, and it's the beta set. And who knows, maybe in 5 years it'll be worth $1,000. And so that's why I bought it. I wasn't really actually planning to really play it. So anyways, I'm playing Magic, and then fast forward to, I try not to spend too much time bashing other games. That's not what I want to be doing. But I was having a bit of a, just kind of asking myself, like, do I want to keep playing this game? Because Spider-Man was about to come out in Magic, which it just hurt every part of my soul and what I like with the game. So I was digging through my closet, and I decided to crack open those precons. And just opening up the pack that came with it and looking at the art, it was like that evening, I'm pretty sure I turned and told my wife, I'm like, this looks really cool. Like, I think I'm going to switch over to this. And then I played one game online through Tabletop Simulator, and I was sold. That was it. Like, that's all it took. One game. And I was like, this is everything I want in Magic, and it's here. So I'm just going to switch. So here I am.
Yeah, coming from Magic, and you have this like 3D grid, and it just makes your brain starts spinning of like, hold on, I gotta think about movement, and in addition to all these crazy spell effects, it's there's a lot of complexity there.
All right, so here we've got the head judge, basically the ruling.
Yes.
The nuance here is that we knew that 2 of the turns out of those 4 cards were drawn. 2 of them I had drawn sights. The hard thing was I didn't know which. Because if we did, we could maybe say, okay, well, I would have drawn this as opposed to this, so let's put this back. So we didn't know which 2. So the way that this ruled out was the judge said, okay, we're going to mix these cards up into 2 different piles. You're going to pick one of the piles. And one of them will go back on top of your deck, but it will be revealed, like the order in which they're going back, so everyone gets to see that. But the other pile will be playable. So the Green Knight and the Toolbox are going back on top of my deck. And maybe it's random, actually. I think
it was random on top,
yeah. But luckily for me in this case, Lilith was allowed to stay in play, which I was really excited about. And then I forget what the other card was. I actually don't see it. It's over there on the left.
It was Green Knight and Manuscript and Toolbox.
Manuscript, got it. So I can't cast the Manuscript, so it's kind of just a dead card. But I get the Lilith, and then we got I think we had the Colloquy Dragonettes that came off of that, and that was the ruling. So you can see how long that was so again, like you said, shout outs to all of the judges for being patient with that. It probably wasn't the first, well, it definitely wasn't the first time they ran into that all weekend, but I'm not sure if this was the first one they had to deal with on that day. And I just noticed that do you have the elements drawn on your fingernails there in the video?
Yep, yeah, I had all.
Oh,
I had the
man,
4
that's awesome.
across the main 4, and then on my thumb I had Steam. I had the 2 because that matched the deck, right?
Dude, I don't have any tattoos, but if I ever do, it's probably going to be the Thresholds. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I've thought about it before too.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I think I animate the horns of Behemoth. Like the horns of Behemoth was if you're playing Mono Red Pathfinder, the horns is the best part of that deck in my opinion. And so I was like, I'm gonna build the sight deck, and that's why I'm like Steam, is because it has Island Leviathan in it. And
yeah.
Oh,
All
and then
right.
I hear a Blaze of Glory to clear the board because everything takes 3.
Yeah, so it essentially fights everything one at a time and then dies. Like, it doesn't die,
It doesn't even have to die. The only reason it dies is because it takes more than its life total. So like
Okay.
if it was a 12 power thing and then it fights everybody and only takes 9 damage, it wouldn't die.
In this
At least I
case,
think
it's the Dragonets that's doing it, I think. So it's
yes, the Dragonets.
there's enough to deal the damage, but it does it to because that Dragonets was mine off the Lilith. Got it. Okay, so then all
Yes.
that gets wiped.
Yeah.
So that's a good board wipe. Although we had the big judge ruling for the Lilith, you had a solution to get rid of it, which is good.
I don't think I really wanted to do that because what I really want to do is like use my horns and Blaze of Glory to smack for 12. So like attacking Battling Brook and then Blaze of Glory hitting for another 6 on your avatar would have felt slightly better. It's just like I needed to get rid of Lilith. Like I can't let that live.
No, Lilith is one of those cards, and I it's funny, whenever you mentioned the name Kyle, whenever I bring up Lilith, whether it's good or not, everyone says, well, Kyle doesn't like this card. So which is like, oh, so I just shouldn't play it? So I still play it, but I've heard that, the obvious, it has a very high ceiling, but a very, very low
the
floor.
Lord and Savior Kyle has said Lilith is bad, and
If you're gonna play it, everyone will let you know, hey, Kyle doesn't like this card, you shouldn't play that. Like, well, wait a minute.
I will
just found that
say
was funny. Yeah.
it like I understand why Kyle doesn't like it. It's a 5 mana 3/3 that sometimes just kind of whiffs and doesn't do anything. But I don't know. The game is getting to the point where there's so many beefy, crazy effects. Like even if it whiffs once, who cares? Like
Yeah, and
the ceiling is so high.
I call myself a casually competitive player, which Lilith is perfect for that. It's like it can be great, it can be terrible. It's fun though. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's
It
what
can
makes
win you the
Pathfinder
game
fun
or lose.
too.
It can win you the game or lose you the game. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little RNG to it, but it's all pretty good. Atlantean Fate always
There's
feels
your
good.
Atlantean Fate to kill my big minion I was gonna use.
That definitely feels good.
Oh man, Atlantean Fate's brutal. Yeah.
It really is. That and like you mentioned mesmerism, how you can just like you said, I lost to a mesmerism. It's how it goes in sorcery sometimes. For some people that might not be their cup of tea of what they want in a trading card game. I think everyone who enjoys sorcery just kind of accepts. It's sometimes they just draw it. It is unique. There's only one copy of it, so you're not gonna always see it. But when you do, it's usually very swingy.
Yeah,
It's quite good.
It's just also like weird with so this tournament structure was best of one. And like I understand why it's best of one because we went to time and a lot of people went to time and one game takes 45 minutes usually. And you can't do a best of 3 format when one game takes 45 minutes. You just be playing for 30 hours or something crazy.
Did the top 8 end up doing any best of 3? Do you happen to know?
I think the final one of the events did, but most of the top 8 players was like, well, let's just do best of 1 and get this over with.
I know, like at the time of this event too, there was a big storm happening, so a lot of the players were kind of stressed. They're trying to focus on their matches, but they're also having to like cancel their flights and figure out how they're gonna drive home, and so I think a lot of players in that top 8 were probably just like, let's just do best of 1, figure out who's first through 8, and then just get out of here because we gotta go.
Yeah, so here I finally draw another minion, which is just the 3/3 charge guy, and like you can see my hand. It's like I have a Disintegrate, a Ring, and a Theus. It's just like I have no pressure in my hand. But yeah, it's what happens. You just draw awkward sometimes.
Yeah, Theus is one of those other cards that breaks my brain, but forget being also an imposter and then also going to turns. That's like, this is, it's like, wait, so whose turn is it? It's your turn, but it's my turn, but it's your that's where, hearing you say like the imposter breaks my brain, it was quite a relief. I'm like, okay, it's not just me, because this is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a local guy ask me yesterday or Thursday, like, when somebody plays Theus, do I control their stuff when they're controlling me? And no, like the person who plays Theus is controlling that person's turn. They still have control over their minions. It's like it's one-sided, and then it switches. But no, Theus is one of those mind-melding cards as well.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
But it's one of the ways that you can get a one turn, not one turn, but like get the kill in a turn without them being able to respond, right? Because if I get them to
Yes.
door and then cast Theus and then have force their avatar to swing into something, I think it's the one way in sorcery that you can just kind of win, kind of like Magic, where you just win on your turn. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
so you get him a door and you play Theus and like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like Death's Door, I think that's the only card that negates Death's Door in that way. Like we have Zap and other things that kind of like can kill you on your turn, but you still get another turn, right?
Right.
But
Yeah, I hope there's not. I mean, we'll see. The game is still very young and there's a long way to go, but I hope there's not too much more than Theus, if any, that allow you to do that, because I do appreciate the Death's Door. So I think having just one is like totally fine. But something about you go to door, but I at least get one more turn to try to top deck something always feels pretty good. But
yeah, I would say yes until with Gothic they said here's Zap and
Yeah.
Searing Truth. So like
yeah,
you get another turn, but it doesn't matter what you do.
right. Like the opponent who has the Zap is basically just like, well, I can mentally check out because no matter what they do, I'm just gonna zap them. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah, like you can play Sam, Archangel Sam, I think. No, Raphael gives you ward.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
there's the Mount Usar, which if you go to Death's Door, you get a ward. Like I think those are the only two ways you get wards as avatars. So like, they're a little bit of response to them, but those are both uniques in different colors. So like, yeah, it functionally it says that.
Yeah. And I guess there is now a card. I don't think anyone plays it, but I'm pretty sure there's a Gothic card that allows you to heal up to 1 life from Death's Door, which is pretty.
Yeah, Divine Intervention, 7 mana or 6 mana, unique. Like you have to have it when you go to door and enough mana to cast it, and that's all you're doing that turn. Doesn't sound great.
Nope. And right now, there's no way to fetch uniques out of your collection, so that card is probably not going to see any play for a while.
Well, I mean, there's Eric's Curioso. You can spend $300 or I don't know what it is
That's
now, but
true.
yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think at this point I'm like trying to figure out how I can just keep applying pressure. You played a thing from collection, hybrid from your collection. Yeah.
Yeah, I just put up something essentially to block. I think here you've got your charge minion and your Pathfinder right there. It's like, well, I did have to use a toolbox to do that, but I'm not getting you to turn or to door anytime soon.
And then here I think I finally use my my
There it
cantrip.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. To give myself lethal, and then the ring ping will become lethal. Or no,
Oh,
I
that's
just
interesting.
disintegrate.
You just disintegrate. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that how
but,
that
yeah.
would work though? Like you can give your. Does it give a minion lethal or
Oh, it might
the
just say
Pathfinder?
minion. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
It
I
says
think.
minion. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Unless your minion has a spellcaster that you gave the ring to, which almost I've never seen. I never see people give a minion the ring, but I guess you could do that. But looks like in this case, just pinging and.
Yeah. Getting blockers out of the way. Yeah, we're pretty
Yes.
close to time, and I think we're both playing a little fast and loose.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously we had like that judge call and things like that. It's like in the moment, this feels like 100 miles an hour. It may not look like it, but just mentally and like you said, dealing with any sort of nerves and just trying to factor there's just so many moving pieces in this game. It's a ton of fun, but it can be exhausting. And like you said, when you play in an event like this, you're playing for 8 hours basically in a row. It was the one thing I forgot to leave feedback on when SorceryCon put out their survey was that I wish they had the actual lunch break every day. I think they only did it once.
Yeah.
So I hope they can make that work next year.
I think I was talking to CJ about this. The best part of this event for me was meeting people and hanging out with people and like making friendships and playing games for fun. And
Yeah.
so next event we go to or whatever it is, I think the budget of time half of it will be spent on having fun with people. It's just like,
I like that.
we did. I did limited and then I did constructed, and that took up all 4 days. Like you're playing all day long. You didn't have a whole lot of time to go talk to artists. Maybe between rounds, it was just like I don't know. It kind of solidified in my head. The best part of the sorcery is the community. I don't know. It's just very different.
Yeah, and I'll say I got to experience that almost on accident because on the first day I was signed up for the sealed, but since I was helping film the event, it kind of dawned on me like I should probably drop from this so that while everyone is playing, I have access to all the artists, and I kind of had free reign over everything at the event during that time. So I'm really glad that I did. Of course, if you're a limited player, then that. But like you said, you just kind of pick and choose. Okay, I'll play in this event, but maybe I'll skip that event in order to just kind of hang out and talk to people. Because I agree. I think if you're on the fence or you're interested in going to SorceryCon, you're gonna meet, people that you've interfaced with online, maybe people you've watched on YouTube that you're a fan of. Like I was honored to get to meet Lord of Itza Josh. I watch his channel all the time. That was really cool. Got to meet the Common Sense podcast guys, Zach and Phil, and we recorded some crazy multiplayer matches like that. Those are the memories. Like although the whole weekend was really fun, I agree. I think that is the biggest highlight from the event, and that. When there is 4 days, it's worth choosing one of the days to maybe not play so much and just kind of hang out.
Absolutely, I would totally agree. Yeah, and so here you have mesmerism. So like, yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, love me a mesmerism. So I get hit with my own kobolds for 4, which is a little rough, but it is what it is. I was gonna say something else, but. I don't know. What was your highlight of either this event or this game?
Oh boy. I'll start with the event, I suppose. Really, I mean, I had one of the highlights for sure. Not to it was great to meet all the artists, of course, but getting to meet Michael from Slovakia, he was the artist for Plague of Frogs. And a lot of the art in the game, Eclipse. And it was interesting because I'm excited to edit that interview because although when I approached him, English isn't his first language, and he, admitted he's like, I'm sorry, this interview might not be good. My English is not so good. And I said, that's okay. So I was kind of expecting it to be short. We ended up talking for, I think, like an hour and a half, and he showed me all of his art. And so that was a big highlight for me, getting to meet him. And then I even saw him at the airport on the way out. So me, him, and Mike from Collector Art House all got to have dinner together, which was a cool memory.
Nice, man. Yeah, me trying to explain to him to draw a banana on a card was it was a little hard. It's like he's like, "What? You wanted me to do what?" And I'm like, "Don't think about it too hard."
he's trying to make sure he's hearing you right. Like, am I understanding his English correct? He wants a banana? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and then
funny.
so. Talking about don't think about it too hard. Here's Theus.
Right. So here comes. I guess we kind of almost. This whole match comes down. It's like Garden of Eden and Umphalos, and then Cortus and Thias when you're on turn. So it's like, here's my hand. I'm showing him my cards that are under the dank. Drawing a card for my turn. He draws a Maiden Mother Crone. So if he casts that though, that would affect me. So he is having my avatar attack into his minion.
Yeah.
And then if you cast the Green Knight to make it drown, that's great. And it wastes my mana.
And then
pass the turn.
End turn. Yep.
Kobolds hits. And what pinged for 2? What did I miss there?
Kobolds hit you for 2.
Why isn't it just 1? Oh, it strikes. It's not a fireball.
Yeah.
I'm thinking dragonettes. Right. Yes. So now I'm at door. But now it's so you cast the Cortus and Thias and then pass to me, used my turn. So now it's your turn, but I'm controlling you.
Yep.
And then I get another turn, but we're at turns at this point. So that's where I think the fact that we're at turns at this point, truly, it was like, all right, we've had some missed rules, triggers. We've messed some things up. We're going to time. At this point, genuinely, I was like, I think I'm just going to concede. Like, I'll take my turn just to play it out. But I was ready to just like, hey, you can just have this because I don't even know what,
Yeah, you're just like, all right, I'm mentally checked out at this point. I don't even want to.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was like, good game. Yep.
Yeah,
I learned a lot.
Even on the Theus there, I'm realizing now, I was like, hold on. I played Theus, and then we both have rings, and I could have had you drop your ring and like walk somewhere else, but then you could have, like on my turn, drop the ring, and then have like
I hope the game over time with new sets doesn't get too much more complicated. I guess I think we're already
it's gonna
at a
get
good
worse,
level.
man. It's gonna get
no.
worse.
I just hope Construct doesn't become this just web of confusion. So now I'm looking at your collection because you're an imposter, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many options here. Like, Flame Caller, I could cast something to deal some damage. How much would that be? I don't even know. But then you point out the mortuary.
Mortuary with Flame Caller just negates.
So now I can't even use it because I don't have any fire in my graveyard. That's
yeah.
Or wait, no. Yeah, right. Oh, that's breaking my brain. I'm controlling you, but it's my graveyard, dude. It's like, at this point. And then I give a shout out to the Banana Cowboy Archimago. That's so great. Look at that.
Yeah,
it almost looks like a cowboy hat.
I forget what I was going to do to get you to door. To kill you on door. Like after you took my turn. Oh no, the reason I did this was because this was going to be the final turn. Because in the rules of this con was like if your opponent is at door and you are not, and you go to the turns and you finish your turns, you win that game. But if you both go to door, it's a tie or a double
correct
loss.
Now I think if I recall correctly,
yeah,
I think that this turn that I'm controlling of yours was turn 2. Am I remembering that correctly, or maybe I'm wrong?
I have no idea.
The reason I think so, and again I keep kind of spoiling what happens here, but I think that's all right, was that in this moment, I'm kind of trying, it's like I would have to get you to door this turn and then pass to me and then hit you for a win, which might be possible. But again, I'm so mentally checked out. I was kind of just like humbly wanting to just go like, dude, you can just have it. It's fine. But the reason I think that was the case was because I recall that as I'm looking through this and then I kind of just passed the turn to you, you pointed out that I could have turned into Enchantress to animate my Atlantean Fate. So I think that's why I'm thinking that this turn that I'm playing as your turn is turn 2, but I may be remembering it wrong. Yeah. Either way, you can tell I'm just like, wait. So I have access to graveyards, collections, but it's also
but not your graveyard because of mortuary.
Right. It's just like I just get me out of here. This is wild.
Yeah. I think this was like one of my favorite games. I had a lot of favorite games at this event, but like saying here's Imposter. You've never played Imposter before. You figure it out.
It's almost an advantage. It's like it's an avatar that if the person doesn't have reps against it, it's already hard for them to know how to play against it, let alone play as it. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's a little double whammy.
Yeah, like you said, I definitely am interested in trying it out now just because there are some other kind of like and I just kind of extend the hand. I'm like, dude, you can just have it. And then so here, I believe...
Enchantress, with...
And would you mind walking me through it again? So the way Enchantress works is...
Yeah, so when you were controlling my turn on Theus, you animate for your next turn. Because it doesn't turn back into an aura until my next turn. So during your non-Theus turn, you have access to a 5-power minion.
Right. So I guess the goal then would be I would be getting you to door on my final turn, and we'd go to a draw, which would be kind of sad.
Kind of sad for both, but like there is a way out of it. Like
yeah.
Oh, and then you had Kobold, so you could like hit for 4.
Yeah, that is something probably a discussion for another time, but it is unfortunate the way that draws are kind of handled, or at least were handled at this event. I would like to see draws not be so damning, I think, as like it's right, because it just counts as a loss for both players, I believe. I'm not sure what it does to affect like the stats, but it's like there's no benefit to anyone having both players go to draw when one person could try to get the win, which I don't know. Do you just like, I don't know if we want to save that for another time as we're just picking up our cards here. But
so that ruling is an official ruling from Eric Curiosa of like how events guidelines should be run. I get why they have it that way of like, hey, we don't want people trying to game the system of like, hey, do you mind conceding to me because I have a better win record? And then like it gets weird.
Right. Yeah, if there was some sort of an official way for players, if they agree to it before the match, hey, if this goes to a draw, do you want to do something to determine the winner? And if that was allowed by Eric's Carousel, I think that would go a long way. But until then, that's just what it is. So going to draw is not good for anyone. It's kind of a bummer. So anyways, in this case, I decided to concede. My brain was absolutely melted by this point. I had played Joey G followed by you. So my going into game 3, I knew, all right, well, at least all I have to do is win from now on. So, which was kind of nice. It's just like, I'll just try to not lose. And but this was, like you said, this was one of my more memorable games from the event. So thanks again. Thanks for letting me borrow your playmat in this footage here as well.
No worries, man.
That's a story for another one, but there was some funny things that happened with that. Not today, but yeah, Bruce, it was great to meet you then. It was great to chat with you again now. Is there anything you'd like to shout out before we sign off today?
Yeah, anybody listening, come join the Sorcerer Summit. We have leagues going monthly. I think we take a break between leagues just to like kind of reset for a few days, but it's been a lot of fun. We have, I think, almost 200 active players and almost 2,000 games played in the last 3 weeks-ish. So it's always, like, within 5 or 10 minutes, you'll find a game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'll say I was kind of waiting to join the summit because I felt like maybe I would not have the chops to play against some of the players at the top of this summit. But I joined it this last week and actually won my first game. So I'm really glad that I did it.
Amazing.
And I think it's a great option for finding matches now. So I thank you for having that as an option in the community. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. And I will say, like, yes, our mission statement of whatever is come play against the best. But, man, the Sorcery community is so lovely. Even if you're losing, you're still winning. It doesn't feel like you're playing against, I don't know, a random TCG player. But, like, everybody's really welcoming, and everybody just wants to get better. And that's the vibe we want.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely, like, playing against some players that are clearly, I'd call them, like, pro level or whatever. If there's anything I get out of it is that even if I lose, when the game's done, they're happy to go like, hey, by the way, and they'll walk me through some plays that I maybe could have done differently, or they might ask why I did X instead of Y, and then explain some of the options I maybe could have had. So it's going to be a learning experience either way. And like you said, I have yet to encounter anyone that was, super negative or what people call like just overly sweaty and non-engaging. That everyone's super, super kind. So definitely go check out the Sorcery Summit. You'll maybe even place against me. So if your ELO is, or if your MMR, is it ELO or MMR? I forget the
it's
difference,
ELO, but we don't use ELO to do any matches. So it's all random. So like you can play against a 1300 versus a 1700. Like you don't know what you're getting.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Bruce. Thanks for joining, and looking forward to seeing you either online or at an upcoming event.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I'll talk to you later.
Cool. Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And also please go check out Golden Eagle Cards, which is Bruce's channel. Go give him a like and a subscribe as well. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.